You're listening to Faith, Stewardship, and Insurance, Protecting Texas Churches. The show that gives pastors and church leaders the clarity they need to protect their people, property, and ministry.
Welcome back to Faith, Stewardship, and Insurance, Protecting Texas Churches. This week, we are going to do things a little different. There's only one episode for the entire week. No series, no checklist, no crisis to solve. Just a moment to pause. If you're listening to this during Christmas week, I already know what your calendar looks like. Extra services, extra counseling conversations, extra logistics, extra pressure to get everything just right for everyone else. As a pastor or church leader, there's a good chance you haven't had time to slow down long enough to ponder the details of what this season means for each of us. So today, let's do that together. The Son of God entered the world quietly. He wrapped himself in human flesh and adopted the mind and vulnerability of an infant. His birth took place in a dirty stall where he was placed in a feeding trough surrounded by animals instead of a palace surrounded by kings. Even though God has all the power, he chose to quietly enter the world in humility. He submitted himself to his own wisdom for our sake. His earthly parents were poor teenagers who accepted and carried out God's plan. Mary and Joseph had no backup plans and nowhere to go once they arrived in Bethlehem. No medical coverage, no financial reserve, just obedience, faith, and trust that God would provide what they needed. This moment changed everything for the rest of eternity. Because the message of Christmas is not that God removed all risk from the world. He stepped into it and faced it with us. As a church leader, you spend a lot of time trying to remove risk. Awareness and preparation for risk is not wrong. Over the last year, we've talked about roofs and storms, liability claims, health coverage, water damage, cyber threats, employment issues, and financial strain. Those conversations matter because preparation in these areas is good stewardship. Christmas reminds us of something deeper. We don't steward because we're afraid. We steward because we've been trusted. Jesus didn't take away all of our responsibility. He came to pave the way for the restoration of the world. And as we wait for that day to come, we continue to practice faithful stewardship here on earth. As leaders, we are entrusted with people, buildings, and church ministries. Church insurance doesn't replace faith. It supports faithful stewardship of God's resources. Buying insurance doesn't mean that we don't trust God. It means we honor the people and property that God has placed in our care. It keeps us thinking ahead so that when storms come, our church can continue on with its mission without interruption. Joseph protected his family by fleeing to Egypt. The early church made a plan to care for the widows in their community. Faith has always walked hand in hand with wisdom and stewardship. This year you showed up, you preached, you counseled, you buried the dead and baptized the new. You balanced budgets, answered hard questions, and carried burdens no one else saw. And the story of Christmas is God's reminder that He sees all and knows all. If you are feeling exhausted during this holiday season, you are not alone. If you are tired, you are not failing. The same God who chose to be born in a manger is the same God who sees you and knows what you are facing. Sometimes faith looks like sitting at the feet of your Savior and resting in His holy presence. As Christmas passes and a new year approaches, this is a natural moment to pause for reflection. Looking to the future with anticipation instead of fear allows you to lead your church with wisdom and strength in the new year. If you want a Christmas present from us, I invite you to get a copy of our book, The Promise of Certainty. Email me at ron@insurancefortexans.com and I will make sure that you get a copy for free. It's on me. This Christmas, let's pause to reflect on how God used ordinary human beings to accomplish His extraordinary plan. I'm Ron Wadley, and this has been Faith, Stewardship, and Insurance, Protecting Texas Churches. Until next time, remember to take time this week to pause and reflect on the meaning of Christmas.
Thanks for listening to Faith, Stewardship, and Insurance. Until next time, remember, insurance isn't just about policies. It's about safeguarding the mission God has called you to lead.